Lake, and we are going to take a fall sketch walk. I've never been to Crawford Lake, so there's some pretty cool stuff. And come on through and we will check it out.
I found all these little statues and sculptures that they had, which I didn't realize they had in Crawford Lake, but this was really kind of cool to see. They've done a lot of work, and it's really done nicely. Some very unique statues, as you can see, and sculptures that have been done by some very talented artists, for sure. So anyway, let's continue on our walk. There was just a few of them here that we decided to go down to. So this is on your main path, the red path, as they call it. So once I got past this point, I started walking down this walkway, which kind of went all the way through the park, which I thought was really kind of neat. So I'm going around and I'm just looking. I'm still looking for a place to sketch. I haven't found anywhere really yet. And of course, with the walkway being so small here, there wasn't really anywhere for me to go. So I kind of just looked around. Basically, what we're doing on this path is just circling the lake, if you will, if I can say that. I found this little area to have lunch, so I decided to stop and have a little bit of a lunch spot right here. And then I continued on. And again, I was going on this pathway. This was the coolest tree. When I was on the pathway, this tree was all twirled, almost like someone was twirling a rubber band. This was awesome. So all I'm doing is continuing around this lake, which is Crawford Lake, the main area. It is basically a wildlife area, and then I found this spot. And I was always looking for the fall trees. So I found this spot. I liked that it had a tree up front, the lake, the difference in the background, some colors, not as many colors I was hoping for, but some of the colors. So I decided to stop here to start my sketch. So I unfolded my chair, got myself a little seat, and began. So as I began the sketch, I'm just starting to put in some of the outlines. You might do this in pencil. I did this with a pen, and all I did was just move it around, and I'm just getting in the big objects, the trees in the background, the trees in the foreground. You can see I'm just trying to get things in there. I'm not going to where I'm, doing anything elaborate here. Basically just putting in that shape stage, as I call it, which just shows you how to kind of get the trees in there and do what they, so I'm just working on some background trees. You can see here that I've got some leaves in the foreground that are a little bit more bigger. Again, not detailed because I'm still in the shape stage. But at this point, I'm just developing, getting kind of everything in there I need. You'll see a big blank area where there's grass and the lake. So you can see it's very unfinished at this point. But again, we're just doing the stages here. And I'm just kind of roughing out where I'm going to put everything as we go along. So, hope your sketch is going well. This is very relaxing. Again, I'm not trying to create a work of art. It's more about connecting with nature and just getting your sketch in there the way that you want. So I'm starting to put in a little bit of the detail now. You can see here's where it is at the sketch stage. And then I started moving on. So you can see the edge of my book and the scene that we're drawing. Now I've gotten some detail in there. I've started doing all my detail in pen and ink. And this is now after been working for a while. And then I put the color in. So this was the color here that I got in. And it turned out, a little bright, but I was hoping to get that color. Anyway, let's move on to another spot. So I started walking down here, and again, the leaves started getting changing a little bit, which is what I was looking for. But I'm always looking for that thing that kind of just will stick right out at me and go, you know what, this is what I want to sketch. Some beautiful trails. All the trails are really good. They've got all the routes colored. So I was on the red route and the blue route, and there's a whole bunch. Here's a look at where we were sketching. So we were over by the orange trees is where we actually did our sketch. And we basically circled the lake again. So that lake is the focus. Unfortunately, the weather started turning on me a little bit, and so I decided to start heading out, and I found this little village that apparently had been what would have been there 600 years before. This is a longhouse. This is basically the frame of it, and this is by the indigenous people, and this is what they would have had, would have lived in that area. So I thought this is all part of Crawford Lake. It's all on the ground there. There was a girl in there that was showing people about pelts and stuff like that, if you're interested. A lot of schools go to this area. Here's a canoe that's been upside down, put there. Some fall colors. And here's my favorite tree of the day. So
I hope you enjoyed that little sketch walk of Crawford Lake Conservation Area up in Hull. Hope you make it out sometime and enjoy your own sketch walk. Till next time, see you later.